Welcome to our first conversation regarding your life. We assume that you're a busy person, right in the middle of those full chapters of your life, with many things competing for the 24 hours a day you have to fit it all in, each day. So, well done for being good to yourself and taking time out for this guided thought process, despite having to keep all those balls in the air to reflect on life and the quality of your life. The prompts and questions, as a voice of partnership in these conversations, will guide you through this journey, will not be time-consuming or riddled with bells and whistles. We are asking for 10 to 15 minutes, at most, every 10 days or so, and a minute here and there between these conversations just to reinforce the message. What you make of this in the privacy of your own reflective space is, however, what is going to matter. And we hope you afford yourself the rightful amount of time and mental liberty to delve into the relevant detail of your life. Let's kick off our journey by pausing at the subject of subjects. What is a good life? It is the question of the ages, pondered by wisdom seekers for so many centuries. What is a good life? There are so many poetic pronouncements of what a life worth living is. So many inspiring suggestions from all the great thinkers on what it takes to live well. Yet, centuries later, we are still looking for the ultimate answer to this complex question. An answer that settles the matter once and for all. It is also the question we pose to you in this very first conversation regarding your life, here, right at the start of your personal inquiry into the foundations of good living. Remember, a large part of our journey is one of questions, not prescriptions or superficial proclamations. It is a path of asking better questions, crafting your own answers of how to turn your choice of living into a worthwhile experience, and to, inch by inch, remove the stumbling blocks in the way of such an experience. Do you have a good life? Take a few moments to reflect. Do you thrive in every area of your life? If not, why do you do so well in some areas? Why less so in others? Why do you often, maybe too often, still find yourself at odds with yourself and the world? There is no doubt about it. Life is a complex affair. And we are complicated beings. Our frailties travel with us. Our fragilities come a long way. Our challenges are real. That is why we have this conversation, why we embark on this journey of honest introspection and open ourselves to thoughtful self-examination. Because we acknowledge that we are imperfect, however cultured and accomplished we may regard ourselves to be, and however important the world tells us we are. We have this conversation because we choose to believe that any life can be improved, including our own. Now, let's return to our question. What is a good life? And, if you want to make the question personal, how can you build a good life, or an even slightly better one? Is yours good already? As you listen to and ponder the question, don't allow it to intimidate you. Let go of the idea that we always need to have an instant answer, the perfect solution, that everything needs to be captured in one tidy sentence. Once again, our journey is not about magic solutions and catchy one-liners. It's about uncovering reliable principles, slowly and patiently, by staying with the questions, privately, not having to answer to anyone about your voyage of discourse. As the question lingers in your mind, what is a good life for me? We suggest you split it into two different questions to make it more practical. The first, what does success mean to me, where I am in my life right now? And while I think about my own view of success, what would I say underpins any form of success? What is the reason for my success? Start to think through the idea of being successful first. Take your time to think, even if it means you come back to the rest of this conversation tomorrow, or the day after, or even next week. The quality of contemplation you allow yourself is the key to making most of our togetherness. Capture your thoughts as you think in your private thought pad. Allow them to evolve. Leave enough empty space for ongoing fermentation of your thoughts on your personal views of success. Your notes on this question are important. They reveal more than you think. There are no right or wrong answers, only yours, about what success means to you. You may view success as a function of effort, of skill, even talent, whether as basic as baking a cake or as complex as going to the moon. You might have rightfully identified success as an effort to outperform the norm through perseverance and being rewarded for it. That success is a feat of results, powered by aspiration and determination. You could have quickly digressed to your career, even spend most of your time thinking about the topic of livelihood and finances, because it is such a big part of our idea of success. And we have been conditioned from early to believe that success is primarily an economic journey. The second half of the question, to what a good life means to you, is quite different, yet so simple. What makes me happy, and how does personal happiness work, if I have to venture an opinion? The previous question was about doing well. This question is about being well. It is time to scratch your head again, to think as long as you want to, about happiness this time. Take your time. Happiness is important enough to do so. What are your ideas about a happy life? What makes you happy, and what not? As you were thinking about happiness, you might have involuntarily been drawn into your thoughts about success again, immediately linking the one to the other. It is unnatural for us to see happiness as a logical result of success, as an if-then incident. If I achieve success, then I will be happy. This simplistic conclusion that success is the dominant driver of happiness is an outflow of the way in which we were and still are educated. That happiness is an outside-in occurrence. That success and the symbols of achievement will lead to inner happiness. But maybe you didn't define happiness so simplistically. Maybe you concluded that happiness is a soulful journey of inner calmness, an ability to extract joy from life, unexpectedly and without force, however steep the journey of life, and despite the hills you are climbing. That happiness is about a peaceful heart and an aura of contentment. Maybe you have concluded that happiness doesn't happen naturally and takes work. The journey we travel together will be one in which we will encourage you to see success and happiness as two different expeditions, linked to one life, but surprisingly separate in nature. Sure, there are overlays, but fewer than most of us tend to believe. We believe a good life is a life in which your outer achievements need to leave space for inner harmony, in which ambition should ideally not be allowed to destroy your sense of calm. We will do our best to convince you that a good life has a place for outer accomplishments, your success, as well as inner serenity, your happiness. Success without happiness is an incomplete life. So many talented people suffer from unrounded lives. They solely depend on success for happiness, using it as the standalone bedrock for a good life. It is a flawed strategy. Success is good. Happiness is good. They make up the two legs on which a good life stands. Both take work, different work. A good life is a life in which you better your abilities and pursue your dreams wholeheartedly, but also a life in which you care for your happiness and invest in your inner serenity intentionally. Our challenge in this Regarding My Life journey is to unpack, patiently and without getting hooked to any standard life model, this subject of living well by balancing happiness and success. To inform ourselves once more about the ingredients of sustainable success and considerately revisit the terms of lasting happiness. Many of the concepts that will feature in our conversations are well known to you, but please allow yourself the freedom to rethink them, to add newness, to question, to explore, and to remove what is redundant wherever you find yourself in life. Until we speak again, hold tight onto the privilege of living. Let the questions of this conversation linger in your mind. What is success about in my life? Where am I now in my journey on earth? And how do I elevate my personal happiness? Put a spring in the step of my joy in ways that will work for me.